So PMNC is a stepping stone to PMPL, which is also a stepping stone to PMGC, which is the highest tournament in the PUBG Mobile ecosystem. Top 5 teams from PMNC go to PMPL, and then the top teams from PMPL go to PMGC. So it's a part of the whole roadmap for esports, PUBG Mobile esports teams in the ecosystem.
This is the first time we did such a big production in terms of simultaneous languages being streamed at the same time. It's the first time we worked with such a big, I think, scale and scope. So in terms of infrastructure, we started off with the semis and then moved to the finals. Only the finals rather had just the physical setup for Bangla. So we had 5 languages: Bangla, Divehi, Sinhala, Zonka and Mongolian, and English on top of that. So 6 different language streams that were going out. And in terms of the infrastructure, we had to make sure that all 6 have the same common game feed and different casters from their local settings. And we also wanted to highlight some of the Sri Lankan casters, the Sri Lankan talent that we have in terms of PUBG Mobile. We went with cloud server setup. The first time I think something of this nature was done in Sri Lanka in such a big scale. And we had around 40 plus servers built on AWS and other cloud providers, with a lot of work going into the overall smoothness of the operation. And we used a lot of new tech, a lot of new sorts of features that were brought into the whole workflow. This is the first time we worked with some of the technology that we worked with. We've of course delved into it in terms of experimenting with it, but this is the first practical sort of application. So everything from the battle bar that you saw inside the game to little things like adding more replays, more action shots. So in terms of statistics also, we worked with Tencent with the PUBG Mobile API as well, directly pulling the data from the game, ensuring that we have the accurate information at any given point of any player, any weapon they're using, their health, stats, whatever, and overlaying that onto the game, showing the person watching the match exactly what's happening.
දැන් මේක තමයි ලොකුම අපේ බ්‍රෝඩ්කාස්ට් ඉවෙන්ට් එක ලංකාවේ තිබ්බ තියෙන. එතකොට අපිට ඔප්ස්ලා 8 දෙනාට වැඩි ඉඳලා තියෙන.
අපිට මෙතන අපේ ෆිසිකල් ස්ටුඩියෝ එකක් එස්ටැබ්ලිෂ් කරලා අපිට ඔක්කොම මික්ස් කරලා අපේ ප්‍රොඩක්ෂන් ගේම් මික්ස් එක and අපේ ලයිව් කාස්ටින්ග්ස් අපිට මික්ස් කරලා අපිට ගොඩක් ඊසිලි මෙතන තියෙන ටෙක්නොලොජි එක සහ අපිට අනිත් අපේ ලයිව් ප්‍රොඩක්ෂන් එකට කරන්න ඕන දේවල් අපිට ඊසි මෙතන මැනේජ් කරගන්න පුළුවන්.
So my role in this whole production is to create CG that comes up in between games and after games. So stuff like sidebars and all the team summaries, all the stats that gets displayed on screen. Compared to local live streams, this time we did a lot of post-match summaries, stuff like comparing a lot of stats from the start of grand finals, from the start of semi-finals, and using them throughout just to display on how a specific team performed throughout the series. Speaking of data, it's quite a lot. So especially if you think about in-game stuff like sidebars, we show a lot of like when a player enters a vehicle, there's a little indicator that pops up. If someone's knocked out, there's a little blinker and stuff like that. So it's quite a lot. And then we introduced the battle bar. There's a lot of data that gets displayed on screen.
So it's the final day of PMNC South Asia Wildcard. This is the final day of the grand finals and things have been going smoothly so far. There have been a few challenges along the way over the last few days, but things somehow pulled together, so the streams look good. And right now we're here on the final day. Things are significantly easier today, I think, than the previous days, because we've got the past few days to fix whatever was wrong. And yeah, so far things are looking good. The boys on the stream are in their traditional Bangla attire, looking all dapper, and it's been a good experience so far. Everyone's having a great time, and let's see how things go.
ඔබන පේන ඇති මේ ඒරියා එකේ තමයි අපේ ඔක්කොම ප්ලේයර් ඔබ්සර්වර්ස්ලා ටික ඉන්නවා. අපේ ඔබ්සර්වර්ස්ලා 4 දෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා. ඒ වගේම ෆයිටින් කෝඩිනේට් කරන වෙනම ඩිරෙක්ටර් කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා. ඊට පස්සේ අපිට මෙතනින් බලන්න පුළුවන් මෙතන CG පාර්ට් එක ප්ලේ කරන්න වෙනම අපේ ඉන්නවා එක්කෙනෙක්. ඒතකොට ඒත් එකම ගේම් මික්ස් එක හැන්ඩල් කරන තව එක්කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා. ඒ වගේම highlights ඒ ඔක්කොම කවර් කරන්න තව එක්කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා. ඊට පස්සේ අපිට ඔබ්සර්වර් කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා drone shots දෙන්න. ඉතින් එයාගේ රෝල් එක තමයි fights යන තැන් වල drone shots මේ ස්ට්‍රීම් එකට අරන් දෙන එක. ඒතකොට ඊට අමතරව තමයි මම ඉන්නේ overall game mix එක හැන්ඩල් කරන්න. කරගෙන මගේ job role එක තමයි මෙතන ඔය ඔක්කොම coordinate කරලා ස්ට්‍රීම් එකට යන හැම ෆයිට් එකම කැප්චර් කරලා හරියට ඔඩියන්ස් එකේ බලන කට්ටියට හොඳ එක්ස්පීරියන්ස් එකක් දෙන්න තමයි මගේ ජොබ් රෝල් එක මෙතන තියෙන්නේ. ලොකු කෝඩිනේෂන් එකක් තියෙනවා. මොකද අපේ ෆයිටින් ඩිරෙක්ටර් ගින්දගෙනම මගේ මික්ස් එක ඒ ඔක්කොමත් එක්කම ලොකු කෝඩිනේෂන් එකක් තියෙනවා. ඉතින් මම හිතනවා ඔයගොල්ලන්ට සමහර ෂොට්ස් එම බලන්න නැති ෆීඩ් එකපාර 4ක් එනවා. එතකොට මගේ ජොබ් රෝල් එක තමයි ෆීඩ් 4ම එකපාර බලලා කොහෙද ෆයිට්ස් යන්නේ කියලා මේ ස්ට්‍රීම් එකට යවන එක. ඉතින් එතන ඇත්තම කිව්වොත් අර මං ඉස්සෙල්ලා කිව්වා කට්ටියකම තියෙන ඒ ටීම් වර්ක් එකත් එක්ක තමයි මේ වගේ හොඳ එක්ස්පීරියන්ස් එකක් අපේ ග්‍රෑන්ඩ් ෆයිනල්ස් එක දෙන්න පුළුවන් වුණේ.
It's amazing to be able to see how we started off, for example, with our production of a projector back then at, our biggest event was Sri Lanka Cyber Games. And from there to where we are now, it's humbling, and we feel we feel proud with the team we've put together, the people who have been with us all through the journey and who are also with us now, and see how everyone's improving, learning new things even through this event. Like people who did not know how things worked in certain applications, in certain programs, they learned new languages in terms of programming. It's different things, little things that actually you see people add value to themselves. And I think that's a big deal, because that's the growth that I think working anywhere, you need that growth. You need to see yourself improve as well. It's amazing to see how the planning behind this, we started off with a Miro board, almost like a flow chart of things, and now to see it in implementation, seeing how everything that we planned out, from server deployment to our workflow to using the hardware switches, getting all sorts of devices involved, getting all that done and seeing all of that actually being executed was really amazing. Because it's not one thing to have an idea and in theory to see something, to plan something rather, but then to see it actually being executed is actually exciting and exhilarating.
So we are just wrapping up PMNC South Asia wildcard. We just finished day 4 a few minutes earlier, and everything went pretty smoothly. I think more than anything else, the entire team gained a huge amount of experience managing an international tournament like this. I think the biggest thing is that all of the people in in-game esports, we have learned a massive amount, and so we are just ready for the next big project, and we are in a better position to manage it. We've been at the whole esports game for over 15 years now. I think this is our 17th year probably, and so it's been a very small step by step progression from where we were in 2007. So if I had to ask my 2007 self that would you ever imagine that you all would be hosting an international event in Sri Lanka with a broadcast and with operation like this, I'd say no, and I'd be super happy that we are. So pretty excited to see what the next 5 years will be like.